This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, Geeta, you are able to see my screen? Okay. So, good morning, everyone. Please come here.
Yes, sir.
Let others come. Yeah. So, today we are starting a session called Windows. Windows first chapter. It's about introduction of Windows operating system. So, as I said yesterday, operating system. If somebody asks what is operating system, we should have a definition, and the definition should explain what exactly it is and what it will do, right? So for your purpose, if you want to write, you can write, or you want to listen and understand, you can listen. That's your wish. So operating system is nothing but it is also a software. Generally, it is also a software which installs on hardware to use hardware peripherals by the user. Any user cannot use a hardware without any software. Okay, so to run the hardware or to use the utilize the hardware resources, there must be a software. That software is nothing but for a computer is called operating system. You can say the definition in different ways, but you should understand it what exactly, right? So operating system is nothing but it's a software which installs on hardware to utilize the hardware resources, right? So what are the types of hardware operating systems are there? As I said yesterday, and as you are new to class, so I just wanted to explain again. Operating systems are two types basically. One is server operating system, another one is client operating system, right? So server operating system, just a second. Yeah, server operating system will provide the services to the network users, and client operating system will take the services from the server operating system, right? I have given an example also yesterday, but for newers, I just wanted to repeat it again. Server operating system will provide the services to the network users. Okay, means there will be a server and it will have some services will be provided to the network user in the network. Okay, example, file services. For example, you want to share a folder to the network users, so you can create a file server, and that file server can be configured only in the server operating system. Okay, that is what server. You can use the table. Okay, a table used. And client operating systems will take the services from the server, right? So whenever you want to access a file, you'll be using from your machine, right? That machine will act as a client operating system. So generally the client operating systems, if you can see this, let me zoom it. So you're able to see this text, right? So this is a small evaluation of operating systems. So if you go to operating system, there are three flavors basically in the world. One is Windows, Linux, and Unix. And if somebody asks what is the first operating system and who is the father of all the operating systems, is Unix. Unix is the first operating system which is designed in the world, and from there the other operating system flavors got introduced. So Unix is a operating system. From Unix, this Microsoft founder or Bill Gates, he was working in the one of the projects in Unix. So he developed his own kernel. Kernel is nothing but it is the core layer of operating system. So you can call it as a skeleton. Okay, so he developed his own kernel version, which is called Windows NT. Windows NT, new technology. From there, he started his own operating system flavors. It means Windows is also one of the Unix based operating system, but we will not call it as Unix based, but it is came out of Unix. It designed out of Unix only. And after that, there is another flavor came into the picture, which is Linux. Unix, Linux, both are similar, but the thing is, Linux can be customizable. Can be customizable. For example, you started your own a device called mobile. Okay, somebody introduced mobile to the world, and somebody want to have an operating system for that particular mobile. So they use this Linux code and they develop their own operating system. Right? For example, car. In car, you'll be having a touch screen, right? Which operating system is there? There is an operating system in it, right? So, is customizable device which doesn't require Windows XP or Windows 7 or Windows 10. It requires a user-based front end, and it should do some functions, right? So for that particular device, it's a customized device. You can create your own operating system. Only the thing is, you just need to use that Linux code, and on top of that, you can create your own operating systems. The kernel is available. It is Linux kernel is open source. If you have team and if you have ideas, you can start your own operating system. It is open to everyone. You can get the latest Linux code, the kernel code, and you can develop your operating system. So the customizable devices, when those are came into the world, they started creating their own operating systems for customizable devices. There are many customized devices, right? In Android TV, Android is operating system which is customizable, and it is Linux flavor. It's a flavor of Linux, right? So here I've given few examples. So in Windows there are two type of operating systems. One is server, another one is client. So these are the list of server operating systems which are exists from the Windows. Those are first Windows operating system is Windows NT, new technology. Then started Windows 2000 server. Then started 2003 server. The same years, 2008, 2012, 2016. Now 2022 is start. Sorry, here it is 2019 missing. 2019 is also there. Okay, so they started 2000 server, 2003, 2008, 2012, 2016, 2019, now 2022. They started these operating systems, and till 2016 all are stable operating systems. 2019 is still not stable, but it is being used by wide organizations. But it is not comparatively with 2016. It is not that much stable as of now. But in future, after a few years, it will keep getting updated, and all the security issues will get closed. Then that would be the stable version. Okay, operating system requires some updates. I'll tell you. There is a separate concept called Windows Update. I'll tell you there. And Windows 2002 servers got started. And if you come to client operating system, the first operating system is 3.0, Windows 3.0. Windows 3.0 is nothing but it's a command prompt. You can see the command prompt, right? If you see this, this was the operating system in Windows 3.0. Just this is the operating system, nothing else. But you can use few of the resources like coding. Everything was being done in the command prompt only. That was the first operating system. Then 95 started, which is GUI, graphical user interface, and mouse has also started from 95 operating system. Till then there is no mouse. After that, 98 operating system, which is what it called, famous operating system or stable operating system. 98 operating system is a very stable operating system, and it is succeeded. The operating system 98 operating system. After 98 to 2000 professional started. 2000 professional in the same year. 98 is stable. Stable operating system and was used in most of the organizations. Widely used operating system is 98 compared to 95. After that, two more operating systems came in the year of 2000. that is 2000 Professional and Millennium Edition, ME. Okay, these are the two operating systems were launched by Microsoft in the year of 2000. Okay, but these two operating systems are not succeeded. Of course, these are just like copy of 98, but few more features have been added. But still, these are not succeeded. But after ME, Windows XP was launched. Windows XP ruled the world almost for 12 years. Almost for 12 years. 2002 is the year of launching of XP, and till 2014, the operating system was ruling the world. Even after Windows 7 came, still some of the organizations were using Windows XP. Yeah, Windows XP was being used. Okay, it was rule the world like anything, and you can run the operating system, XP operating system. What is the memory you have seen in the computers? RAM. Your good name? Sorry, Venkatesh. You joined in the online. Sorry, yesterday I think the call was not good. Audio. Yeah. Yeah. What is the memory you know? మీకు ర్యామ్ ఎంత తెలుసు మీ కంప్యూటర్స్ లో ఎంత లీస్ట్ లో 512 MB ఇంకేమైనా చూస్తారా మీ స్టార్టింగ్ మీరు చూసిన మెమరీ మీ కంప్యూటర్ లో 512 అయితే మ్యాక్సిమం చూస్తుంటాం మనం 1 GB చూస్తుంటాం 1 GB చూస్తుంటాం రైట్ బట్ ఈవెన్ ఇన్ 64 MB XP will run. I learned MS Office 2003 in the year of 2010 on a machine which is having 64 MB of memory, and XP was running like anything. Now even these computers are waste compared to in terms of performance. XP was giving very best performance out of it. 64 MB I was using. So XP is used widely because it requires very low resources of computer resources. Storage, you can have 1.5 GB, that's enough. Hard disk size can be 1.5 GB, and you can install your operating system, XP operating system. That was the beauty of XP, and that is the reason it ruled the world almost for 12 years. Okay, after XP there is a new operating system came, that is Windows Vista. Windows Vista is a failure version, but the graphics which they introduced was superb. They simply copied my Mac, but still Windows Vista in terms of graphics, the what it called appearance, and they started few themes. All these are good. Comparatively, graphic in terms of graphic area, Windows Vista was good. But the performance wise, if you see the performance of a Windows Vista operating system, that was pathetic compared to Windows XP. So people are usually compare with XP. That is the reason Windows Vista got failed. Then after Windows Vista, there's a new operating system introduced in 2006, I think. It is Windows 7. Windows 7 operating system is also a successful operating system like Windows XP. It is also rules the world almost for 9 years, 10 years. 2006 నుంచి 16 వరకు run అయింది. After Windows 7, we all know it's Windows 10 and Windows 11. Currently Windows 11 is being used. Okay, here what I'm trying to tell you is, for every server operating system there is a compatible Windows client operating system. First they'll start client operating system, then they'll start server operating system. If you see Windows XP is pretty much compatible with Windows Server 2003. XP was launched in 2002 and Windows Server 2003 was launched in 2003. Okay, and Vista is pretty much compatible with Windows Server 2008 R2 release version 2. There is another version called Server 2008 itself, Windows 2008 R2 release version 2. There's a new operating system on the same name. So Vista was compatible with Windows Server 2008 R2. Like that, after that Windows 7 is compatible with 2012 and 2012 R2. So for every client operating system, there is a compatible server operating system. Now Windows 11 is compatible with 2019 and 2022 server operating system. Okay, the basic kernel is same between server and client, but the features on top of that which are developed are different. Okay, so this is a small evaluation of Windows operating system. And if you come to Linux, these are the 4 operating systems which are popular. First one is Red Hat. It is ruling the world currently because Red Hat is a very secured operating system and robust operating system which can run enterprise applications. Which can run enterprise application. Enterprise application means it's not like the requests which are coming to the server would be in millions. Okay, it can handle millions of requests which are coming to the through the network. So Red Hat operating system is the robust operating system that is the leading the market of Linux. After that, CentOS. CentOS is also one of the operating systems. It is also having good footprint in the world and in the Linux domain. And Ubuntu can act as client as well as server. Okay, these operating systems has command-based operating system as well as GUI-based operating system both. Okay, and even Windows also has that, but command-based operating system is Linux only. There it is giving good results compared to Windows. And Fedora is also one of the operating system. It has also a good footprint. And even there are many Linux operating systems. Okay, but we cannot name them here because those are customizable operating systems designed by many organizations. As I said, Linux is a free code. Anyone can take it and they can start their own operating systems. Okay. Next, Unix. Unix operating system is first one is Solaris, and it will run the enterprise applications, and we cannot use these kind of operating systems for our regular uses, and for our domestic uses we cannot use them because these operating systems are designed for enterprise business applications. Enterprise business application, I can give you an example. If you see Facebook, right, how many users are there? Billions of users are there, right? So the Facebook handling billions of requests, those kind of applications are hosted on a Unix based operating systems because it can run. The failure of the server would be, the possibilities are very low, and it can handle complex codes of applications. So that is the reason for higher performance and higher requirements, people will go for Unix. Solaris is one of the operating system. Mac is also Unix based. Still, Mac is being used for our extra purposes. And compared to Windows 11, Mac operating system is robust. I can tell you robust. Robust in the sense the hardware will never fail, operating system will never fail. The failure cases are very low compared to Windows operating system. You can't see strucking Mac operating system anytime. But Windows, we always see machine will get stuck, and what we'll do? Control-Alt-Delete or restart the machine. But Mac, it won't. That is the reason most of the multimedia applications are being used by Mac. Most of the multimedia application organizations are using Mac operating system because it is robust in performance. Okay, if you see graphics, any graphic CG computer graphics team will use Mac. They don't use Windows. For movie industry, complete movie industry, the multimedia industry, the whatever multimedia we can call, not only movie, multimedia industry will use Mac only because they have that kind of trust on Mac because they won't stuck anytime. Okay, and the hardware is also completely different. They are completely different from the regular hardware mechanism. They have their own set of hardware devices, okay, which are compact in size, very good in performance, but the size is compact. You know, Apple iPhone and iPhone ki normal Android phone ki difference is compact size. And IBM IAX is an operating system from IBM. It is also Unix based. people will run enterprise applications on IBM operating system. These are not free operating systems, but still they're getting the licenses because it has that kind of high performance for their industry needs. Okay, so these are the some evaluation of Windows operating system. Yeah, so we are starting actual Windows server. So we have to understand few of the things as part of introduction class today. First one is operating system evaluation is done. Second one is editions. Every Windows operating system will develop their few editions to provide services to the end users. For example, I have a requirement like I'm setting up a organization, okay, office environment I'm trying to plan. So as a IT architect, what I have to do, I have to think all the areas. I have to consider all the areas. One area is operating system. What operating system I have to use for clients? So definitely I'll go with Windows 10 operating system because it is stable. 11 is not stable. So I'm not recommending you to upgrade. For testing purpose, it is okay. But if you want to use it, you'll get some challenges while accessing. So Windows 10 operating system for clients, okay. What about server? How many servers I need first? So what edition of server I have to use? Because why server editions are created? For example, server operating system is too costly. It's not free. You can get it free for 180 days. After that, you have to activate with license, valid license. Now, I have to go for which edition? For which edition I have to do? What is edition? Edition is nothing but it will divide with few features. For example, operating system is too costly. An organization which is holding 10 employees, 10 or 20 employees, an organization which is having 10,000 employees. If the operating system cost is same for both organizations, is it making sense? No, right? 10 employees organization budget would be different. 10,000 employees budget would be different, right? So Microsoft has introduced with editions feature where the features have some limitations. Features have some limitations. So Microsoft came with Windows Server 2016 with these three editions. One is data center, second one is standard, third one is essential. Windows Server 2006 data center edition, Windows 2006 standard edition, Windows 2006 essential edition. Okay, so why these editions are created? Because high virtualized data center and cloud environment includes new data center functionality, shielded virtual machines, software defined networking, storage spaces direct and storage replica. There are features are more in data center. Okay, when you come to standardization for physical minimal virtualized environments, I'll tell you the feature differences also between all these three. And third one is essential for small business up to 25 to 50 employees, 50 devices. If server is there, there must be a client. So if my organization size is not more than 50 employees, I can go with essentials, which is very cheaper than data center. Budget is very important for the organization. IT budget is a separate concept in organizations. IT will have their own budget to provide security, to provide IT services. Okay, so always they think about budget when they are purchasing or procuring the license. So depends upon the size of environment, you have to go with the operating system. It depends upon your requirements also. For example, my organization is a 25 people organization, but I'm working on a project where the data security is very important. For example, I'm working on a project. I have 25 members of employees in my organization, but the project which I'm handling is very important in terms of data security and data safety. So in any cost, 100% out of 100% I should be able to have my data. It should not get lost or it should not get corrupted. Means the storage should be more efficient, where I should not get any kind of surprises in terms of data loss. Zero failure of data, zero data failure, 0% data failure. So for that reason, what I should do, I should go with data center. Of course, my organization size is small, but my requirement is storage, data safety, and data security. So I should go with data center edition, where storage replica, the storage direct, there are features are there which provides the 0% of data loss. Right. So depends upon our requirement and depends upon our budget and depends upon our size of organization. We have to choose the editions. So editions are designed to choose based on requirements, size of organization, and features. Right. So that is what the intention behind the editions. Right. So any operating system is free for 180 days. If you download from the internet, you can go to Microsoft website and you can give your own details. So you'll get the operating system. You can download the ISO image. So it works for 180 days and it is fully legal. If you are using the same operating system even after 180 days, after expiring the license, then it is not legal. As per Microsoft, you will be charged. Okay. License compliance. It's called license compliance. Any organization should be under Microsoft compliance. If you are using Microsoft products, you should be licensed. Otherwise, they'll charge 5 times extra. If you got 5 times, they'll come to our organization and they'll run a script, and that script will collect the information of all the pirated applications. Pirated in this sense, the unlicensed applications. They'll find out what all the applications are there from Microsoft. They'll take them aside and they'll calculate how many devices are installed into 5. They'll charge. License cost 1 lakh అయితే మనకు pay చేసే penalty 5 lakhs. So license compliance is very important from Microsoft. Okay. Then features. So what are the Windows Server 2006 features compared to the previous operating system? Okay, features in the sense, these are new, but there are other features also compared to 2008 and 2012, 2016 and 2000 professional. They started different features. Other than them, these are the features which are new in Windows Server 2016. So what about other features that we are going to learn? Here I'm just giving the introduction of these are the features which we are not going to work on them, but I just wanted to tell you what are those features. The first one is nano server. Nano server is a new feature which is introduced from Windows 2016. It was not there in 2012 even. What is nano? In the name only it is saying what it is. Nano ante small in size. The 2016 operating system data center, just ISO image in the sense the portable operating system. You know portable operating systems, right? Operating system DVD తీసుకొస్తారు కదా మీరు, తీసుకొచ్చి ఇన్స్టాల్ చేస్తారు కదా, ఆ డివిని పోర్టబుల్ డిస్క్ అంటారు. ఓకే, డివిడిలో రన్ చేసే ఇమేజ్ ఏంటి? పోర్టబుల్ ఇమేజెస్. ఏ ఫార్మాట్ లో ఉంటాయి? ISO ఫార్మాట్ లో ఉంటాయి. మనకి ఏదైనా ఇమేజ్ కావాలి అనుకుంటే మనం నెట్ నుంచి డౌన్లోడ్ చేస్తే వచ్చేది ISO ఇమేజ్. దాన్ని మీరు బర్నర్స్ యూజ్ చేసి డివిడిలో బర్న్ చేస్తారు. ఇప్పుడైతే డివిడి బర్నర్లు కూడా లేవు కదా, ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఇస్ వర్చువలైజ్డ్. ఒకప్పుడు we used to run on floppies. For 95 installation, we used to insert almost 25 to 30 floppies, one after one, to install 95 operating system. That was the hard work at that time. Nowadays everything is simple. 250 MB pen drive is like 256 GB for us at that time, but now it is 256 GB pen drives are available at the same cost. Okay, so nano in the sense the operating system size is very small and it can run very easily, and it's a lightweight operating system. It's a lightweight operating system. Lightweight operating system in the sense Facebook Lite అనే టూల్ ఉంది, మీ మొబైల్ ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసుకోవచ్చు, రైట్? Facebook, if you install Facebook application, the size of Facebook application is 70 MB around 60 to 70 MB of size inside. And if you install, it will extract in your mobile, and it will also collect some cookies and some data in your phone. The entire Facebook will take at least 1 GB of space from your mobile. I'm just giving an example. It could be less or more. But if you go with the Facebook Lite application, you can install it. It works in 10 MB of space. It won't show the graphics, okay, and the customized features will not be available, like Messenger, everything, and Marketplace. These options would not be available in Facebook Lite because it is designed a lightweight application. It's a version of lightweight application. In the same way, the operating system also designed with a lightweight feature, right? Just to run in cloud environments. Just to run in cloud environments. For example, as I said, ISO image size is 6.5 GB. 6.5 GB of space is required just to copy the ISO file. Jagdish. Thank you, sir. Yeah. So the operating system size is 6.5 GB. Before installing, if you install the operating system, it will at least it will take 15 GB of space from your hard disk, right? So this nano server is designed where it will take very small amount of storage to run the operating system, okay, and it's not useful for your servers, in-house servers. You want to run the operating system in cloud somewhere in the world where the storage is costly. Storage is costly. Seriously, storage is costly. So in that cases, in that scenarios, you can use the same Windows operating system with maximum features in the cloud with the help of nano server. Got the clarity? Just try to understand. I'm not teaching you about nano. I'm just trying to make you understand. Nano server in the sense it's a lightweight operating system which will work in remote environments or cloud to run Windows functions. Okay, the best example is Facebook Lite. Facebook Lite application. Okay, it is not in size, it is very small and it will execute maximum commands of Windows, but the size is very small. It runs in remote environment. And the difference is, major difference is, you cannot install in a local machine. If you install also, you cannot log in locally. You can log in only through the network. It will not allow you the local login. You have to log in over the network. So as you are not aware about operating systems, it is pretty much, it is not that much easy to understand. When I show you, you'll be able to understand. But we are not installing Nano. I'm just giving the idea of Nano. Nano server is one of the biggest features available in Windows Server 2016. And second one is identity and access. Identity and access is a new feature. Generally, this identity and access is available in cloud. It is called IAM, Identity Access Management. IAM. IAM is a very big, very good feature in cloud. In all the clouds, IAM is available. IAM in the sense, it provides identity and access. Identity and access with privileges. For example, in your college, you are allowed to classrooms, yes or no? But there are few areas where you are restricted. You are not authorized to go, right? Like staff rooms or some other areas. You are a art student, but you cannot go to the science lab. There are some privileges, right? These are called privileges. Of course, you are authorized to enter into college, but some areas where you cannot enter, you are not authorized there. In the same way, of course, you are an organization employee, but still you should not access few of the resources, right? That is called privilege. Authentication and authorization, these two are different. If you hear these words, authentication is different, authorization is different. Authentication is nothing but your username and password, simple username and password, where you are authenticated to log in the network. Authorization is nothing but privilege, where you will have some privileges to enter or use the resource. Okay. Some area where you can have the privilege to view data on the folder, shared folder on the. So you'll log in into the folder and you'll see the data what is there, and you are allowed to copy the data, and you are allowed to open the file, because it is available. The requirement is it should be available to everyone. So I have given read-only permissions. Read-only permission. So you'll be able to see the file. You'll be able to copy the content within the file. You'll be able to copy the file in your local machine, but you cannot delete. You cannot delete or you cannot modify it. Right? So that deletion and modification is privilege. I have not given read and write permissions. I've given only read permissions. So where you can see the file, you cannot edit or you cannot delete. Got it? So that is what privilege. So identity and access feature, which is developed in 2016, which improves the ability of organizations to secure Active Directory environments to help them migrate to cloud deployments and hybrid deployments. So Windows operating system 2016 operating system is an Azure inspired operating system. Terminology koncham kottaga untadi, even naaku kuda kotte, but I worked on it. Azure inspired operating system ante ee operating system ni meer as is cloud ki తీసుకెళ్ళిపోవచ్చు. మీ దగ్గర ఒక సర్వర్ ఉంది, ఆ సర్వర్ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ కొని ఒక 5 years అవుతుంది. Physical server, any physical server maximum end of life is 5 years. You can extend it because of your requirement, based on your requirement, but 5 years is the hardware refresh. Hardware refresh. Company organization lo IT ko budget ఉంటుందని చెప్పారు. ఆ IT budget ఏం చేస్తారంటే for every 5 years hardware refresh అని పెడతారు. హార్డ్వేర్ రిఫ్రెష్ అంటే ఉన్న హార్డ్వేర్ మొత్తాన్ని తీసేసి కొత్త హార్డ్వేర్ పెట్టాలి. రైట్, హార్డ్వేర్ రిఫ్రెష్. సో నేను ఒక కంపెనీలో IT డైరెక్టర్ని. సో నా ఆర్గనైజేషన్ లో ఉన్న హార్డ్వేర్ అంతా కూడా 5 years అయిపోయింది. 5 years అయిపోయిన తర్వాత ఎనీ టైమ్ ఇట్ గెట్ ఫెయిల్యూర్. హార్డ్ డిస్క్ ఫెయిల్ అవ్వచ్చు, లేకపోతే సిస్టమ్ ఫెయిల్ అవ్వచ్చు. దెర్ ఇస్ అ ఛాన్స్ ఆఫ్ గెటింగ్ ఫెయిల్. సో ఆ టైంలో నాకు సర్వీసెస్ వస్తాయి, ఆర్గనైజేషన్ సర్వీసెస్ కి ఇంటరప్షన్స్ వస్తాయి కదా. ఫైల్ సర్వీసెస్ ఉంది, సడన్ గా హార్డ్ డిస్క్ పోయిందంటే డేటా పోయినట్టే కదా. డేటా ఇస్ వెరీ వాల్యూ, ప్రైస్లెస్. డేటా పోయిందంటే ఆర్గనైజేషన్ క్లోజ్ చేసుకోవాల్సింది, వేరే ఆప్షన్ లేదు. సో as IT director, I want to go for hardware refresh at 5 years. So I am running an application on server 2016 operating system. It's my company website, for example. Okay, now I'm thinking for purchasing a server, a minimal server, at least I have to invest 5 lakhs. At least 5 lakhs. Operating system is anyhow it is licensed, not an issue. So 5 lakhs I have to invest. So it's a straightforward capital I have to invest. It's a direct amount I have to invest. So I'm thinking, should I go with hardware purchase or should I go with cloud migration? Okay, if I go for cloud migration, a machine with 8 core with 64 GB memory, 64 GB memory, it's called RAM, with 8 core processor with 1 TB of storage, I can get it for 5,000 per year, per month. How much it is? 5,000 to 10,000 per month max. I'm just giving an example. Let us take 10,000. 10,000 per month I can invest for a server. Right, the same server I'll be getting in the cloud. Right, so 10,000 per month into 1 year, how much it is? 1,20,000. 1,20,000 into 5 years, because 5 years is hardware refresh, right? 6 lakhs. So if I go with cloud for 5 years of commitment, I'll be getting it with 30% of cost. Right? ఒకవేళ నేను క్లౌడ్ లో మెషిన్ 5 years కమిట్మెంట్ అప్ ఫ్రంట్ కమిట్మెంట్ తీసుకుంటే అంటే నేను ఈ సర్వర్ 5 years యూజ్ చేసుకుంటా మొత్తం డబ్బులు ఇప్పుడు ఇచ్చేస్తా అని చెప్తే దే విల్ గివ్ అప్ టు 70% ఆఫ్ డిస్కౌంట్. సో 6 lakhs లో 70% డిస్కౌంట్ అంటే ఎంత? జస్ట్ 1,80,000 ఎంత? 1,80,000. సో యాజ్ ఎ IT director, where should I go? Cloud or hardware refresh? Right? So if organizations are trying to migrate the operating systems to cloud, the operating system should support, right? If the operating system is not supporting, then what is the use of migrating to cloud? So 2016, from 2016, Microsoft designed the operating system to the cloud prospect. Of course, it works on on-premises, but it is inspired with Microsoft Azure. It is a Azure inspired operating system. It's nothing but it is already developed with Azure features within the operating system. Got it? What is Azure? We'll be learning. Okay, just cloud migration key e 2016 operating system is already ready. Simple is just migrate. That's it. Migration also won't take much time. Hardly 1 hour to 2 hours of time. Okay, your operating system with application will be available in cloud. Okay, today night at 5 o'clock at your office closing time, 5 o'clock or 9 o'clock, the application is running on your local machine, and tomorrow at morning 9 o'clock the application will run on cloud. There is no change in the application, but still the application is got migrated to cloud. Okay, we did a migration called Adidas. You know Adidas, right? I said you yesterday. Adidas stores, right? Adidas stores has a billing application. The billing application is eShop Aid. The application name of the billing is eShop Aid, Shop Aid. So that application we only have migrated to Oracle Cloud. In the year of 2018 or 17, we migrated their application, which is available in a data center in Chennai, Shifi. Their data center name is Shifi. From there, we migrated the application to cloud in a day. Of course, the planning was taken almost 2 months, but the entire migration was executed in a day. That too on Wednesday, because Saturday, Sunday, their business high business peak days. So they insist us to do the migration on Wednesday. So we did the migration on Wednesday night to Thursday morning. So Wednesday last billing taken in the Adidas store was reported in on-premises, and Thursday first bill is executed in cloud. In 2007, we migrated almost 700 stores in the India, only for India. So 700 stores are there in India. So all their data is being stored in one server, and those servers we migrated into cloud. Okay, it's Adidas. So like that, we did many migrations. I'm just giving an example. So that operating system is 2008. It's not cloud ready. So for that, we took almost 2 months of time just to make the server ready to cloud. But now the server 2016 operating system is already cloud agnostic, so that you can migrate the server operating system direct to cloud without any changes in the operating system. That is what the beauty of server 2016. They started from 2016. Okay, so this identity and access management is a feature which is compatible with Azure cloud, and that feature is available in operating system itself. Okay, where it works on privileges generally. Next, web application proxy. This is also one of the features available in Windows Server 2016. It's for web applications feature. It's a web application feature which will enable publishing and re-authentication for more applications and improve user experience. So it is also a feature which is related to websites that is available in Windows Server 2016. And next one is very important one, software defined network. The next feature is software defined network, which is very important. As you are going to learn Azure, you must be understanding what exactly SDN. For online users, am I audible? Am I clear?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Anuradha and Geeta.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there is a Q&A session at the end of this session. Q&A session. There you can ask your questions. The same for offline and online. Yeah. So software defined networking, which is very important and it's a very good feature which is developed in Server 2016 operating system. Generally, what is network? In your general language, what is network? A physical device and
Connectivity.
connected through a transmission media to the network users or network devices. In our office, we have around 10 machines, and these 10 machines are connected through the cables to a switch, which is connected, I think, here or there. Yeah, there it is switch. The cables are connected to switch, right? It's a pretty much small setup. But in organizations, they'll not have these kind of switches. They'll have managed switches. What is managed switches? We'll be learning in networking basics. Okay, there will be learning. So managed switches, which are very costly in terms of cost, and it will provide a very best features to avoid the network collisions and to improve the network performance. There are many features. So they'll use the catalyst switches or managed switches. On top of them, they'll use the routers. On top of them, they'll be using firewalls and multiplexers for internet and security, right? So it's a setup, physical devices setup. It's a physical devices setup. That is what network till now. But now this SDN is nothing but it's software defined network. As I said, virtualization. Virtualization is nothing but it's an underlying application. On top of that, virtual machines will be created. Now, these machines should be able to communicate, right? Yes or no? Right? So, on top of virtualization, there are virtual machines are got created. I'll show you for online users. Yeah. For all of us, you just see this image. So this is hardware. You just go see this first one. This is hardware and host OS and hypervisor. Host OS is just remove this host OS. On top of that, we are going to install hypervisor. Hypervisor is nothing but your VMware, Citrix, or Hyper-V, whatever it is. On top of that, you'll be having multiple virtual machines. This is guest OS, this is guest OS. Guest OS is nothing but virtual machine. You have an operating system. How these two machines will be connected to network? It's virtualization, right? Purely virtualized environment. And how these virtual machines will be connected? For better understanding. This is also yeah. This is the hardware, and on top of that there is the virtualization application. On top of that, virtual machines are there, right? So these are the virtual machines, and around here only in image we are able to see 24 virtual machines. How these 24 machines will be connected each other? There must be a communication, right? Communication అయితే ఉండాలి కదా. ఎలా ఇవి రెండు కమ్యూనికేట్ అవుతాయి? కేబుల్ ఏం లేదు, ఎందుకంటే ఒకటే కంప్యూటర్ లో నో ఫిజికల్ కేబుల్. అండ్ ఈ 4 కనెక్ట్ అవ్వాలంటే ఈ మొత్తం 24 మెషిన్స్ కనెక్ట్ ఒకదానితో కమ్యూనికేట్ అవ్వాలంటే ప్రతి దానికి సెపరేట్ ఐపీ అడ్రస్ అసైన్ చేయాలి. ఎవ్రీ మెషిన్ మస్ట్ హ్యావ్ ఏ సెపరేట్ ఐపీ అడ్రస్. దట్ మీన్స్ 24 ఐపీ అడ్రసెస్ means. So to communicate between all these servers on a virtualized environment, there must be a network. That network also must be virtualized. Virtualized network, right? Virtualized network. So that virtualized network is nothing but your SDN. What is that? SDN. Yeah. Software defined. The virtualized network is nothing but SDN, software defined network. Software defined networking provides a way to centrally configure and manage networks and network services such as switching, routing, and load balancing on your data center. Everything, switch is a software, router would be a software, firewall would be a software, right? Even the organization lo 100 computer ante 100 అన్నిటితో కమ్యూనికేట్ అవ్వాలని రూల్ లేదు, రైట్? 100 కంప్యూటర్ లో ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇన్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ 100 మెషిన్స్ 75 మెషిన్స్ ఆర్ యూజర్స్ మెషిన్, 25 మెషిన్స్ ఆర్ సర్వర్స్, రైట్? In 25 servers, one server is completely dedicated for finance team. Okay, so this finance server should be available to users. No, only to the finance team the server should be available, not to everyone. So what I can do is I can restrict this finance server to the end users only in the network. I cannot disconnect the cable. I can configure access rules, access control rules, where users cannot access the machine, the finance machine. At the same time, the other users can other machines can be managed or accessed by end users. Again, the next scenario, out of the 75 machines, 5 machines are 5 computers or desktops are finance team desktops. They should be able to access this server, right? So for them only I can provide access by using the access control. So that access control is nothing but software defined network. Everything can be managed from a single point of control. Every network feature service can be managed from a single point of control. Either UI, either command line, whatever it is. UI అంటే ఇట్లా మన వెబ్ కన్సోల్ వస్తుంది, లేకపోతే అప్లికేషన్ ఉంటుంది, దాంట్లో మనం చేంజెస్ చేస్తాం. కమాండ్ లైన్ అంటే ఎవ్రీథింగ్ విల్ బి ఎగ్జిక్యూటెడ్ త్రూ ది కమాండ్స్. Either through UI or command line, we can able to manage the entire network operations. Okay, that is the execution of the purpose of software defined network, SDN. Nowadays every cloud is using this, because in cloud will not have any physical devices. We don't know where the server is, we don't know where the data center is, but still we are able to access everything because the software defined networking is there. Got it? Windows Defender. Windows Defender is an antivirus. It's a purely antivirus provided by Microsoft. Means the built-in operating system will have an antivirus operating application. Previously it was not there. Windows 7 lo, Windows 10 lo undi, Windows 8 lo now it's Defender. I don't remember, but Windows Defender is an antivirus. Previously Microsoft Essentials is one of the tool which we have to install additionally in the operating system, that was acting as an antivirus. Now Windows Defender is a native feature of Windows operating system. It is available when you install the operating system, right? And that acts as an antivirus. but still organizations are using other antivirus tools because it protects malwares. It protects malwares. Malwares means some applications which are available, which are hiding in your machine, and it will execute depends upon a trigger, and it will capture the data and it will send it to the hackers. That is what malware. A small application. మనం వెబ్సైట్ ఏదైనా న్యూస్ సైట్ ఓపెన్ చేసాం అనుకోండి, యాడ్స్ వస్తుంటాయి, రైట్? యాడ్ మీద క్లిక్ చేస్తే పాపప్ వస్తుంది. పాపప్ రావడానికి we have to give the consent. అది మన ఆప్షన్ పర్మిషన్ ఇవ్వాలి పాపప్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవడానికి. పాపప్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతున్న టైంలో ఆటోమేటిక్ గా మాల్వేర్ కూడా మన మషిన్లోకి వచ్చి కూర్చుంటుంది. And that malware will trigger whenever you open any website. Access Bank and type చేయగానే trigger అవుతుంది. So when you type the credentials and you capture and send it to somebody. So those kind of malwares should be protected. We should be protected from those kind of malwares. So that will be taken care by Defender, Windows Defender. That is available natively in the Windows operating systems. Got it? And next one is Windows Cluster. And for Windows Defender, I just want to tell you, it protects only C drive. It protects only system files. It protects only C drive. It won't go to D drive or other drives. Defender. And failover clustering. Failover clustering is a very good concept which is introduced in Server 2012 also, but here it is improved compared to 2012. పేర్లోనే ఉందిగా ఏంటది? Failover cluster. Failover cluster. For example, I'm just giving an example. Already I have given an example of file server. So finance data, there is a server which is holding the finance data, right? The data is there in one server, and due to some power failure or power fluctuation, the server has got damaged. Not server, the hard disk is got damaged. Then what you will do? You have to shut your company, nothing else. Seriously, because the finance data is priceless and you cannot invest money to get the data back, because that is priceless and very valuable. Once you lost, that's it, you're gone. So that kind of data is available in one server, and you're just doing puja to God to save the data. That's it. If that you lost, your job is gone. So to protect the data, there are many ways. There are many ways, like taking the backup every day evening. What companies will do? Daily backup they'll do. At every day at 5 o'clock evening after the officers, they'll take the backup and they'll store in one machine. Okay. And in that way, the data is getting backed up. But suddenly, the server is crashed and it will take 2 hours of time to restore the data. You can restore it, but still it will take 2 hours of time because the finance data is very big, and it will take 2 hours of time to restore the data back. Till 2 hours, they have to wait. Right? This is one scenario. And the second scenario, finance server is there, and you have to do the patching. Man mobile updates pedtanga. Whenever mobile updates are available, operating system updates are available, you are installing it. At that time, after installation, you have to reboot the mobile, restart the mobile. Once you restart the mobile, it will take some time to apply the patches. Applying patches, you'll be getting a Android icon and seeking bar. It will take some time, at least 5 minutes. Till 5 minutes, will you be able to use your mobile? No. In the same way, when server is being patched, in the duration of patching, you'll not be able to access the server. Maybe after reboot, maybe after patching, you'll be rebooting the machine. For some time, it will take to apply the patches, at least for 1 hour, half an hour, sometimes 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 60 minutes also it will take, depends upon the size of your patches. So it would take some time. So till then, the finance team has to sit idle, and they'll not be able to use the service. For that reason, what I can do, I can create a failover cluster. Failover cluster. Cluster is nothing but it's a virtualized environment, not Hyper-V or whatever it is, but it's a virtualized environment where 2 servers will be connected in a cluster. I'll have 2 finance servers, not only one. I'll have 2 finance servers. the data will get replicated simultaneously between these two. When you modify a data, and it will get replicated between these two. Okay, for cluster only one IP address, but servers are two. But only one IP address will be there. You will be connecting to cluster, and cluster will redirect the request to one of the servers which is available. Okay. Now, in first case, one server is got failed. Second one will start providing the services without any interruption, and you'll never see this interruption, even though the physical server is down. One of the physical server is shut down because of hardware failure. But still, the other server will provide the services. That is one case. And second case, what you can do is you are patching the server, so you can put this machine in maintenance mode, so that the other server will provide the services. While providing the service, you can apply the patches on first server, and once it is ready, you'll make this. You'll remove the maintenance mode of the first server, so that you can put the second machine in maintenance mode in next day, and you can do the patching for the next machine. So patching is being done at the same time. I'm not getting interruption in my service, right? So for that reason, we should have a feature called failover cluster. Failover cluster is a very good concept, and we are going to learn it. Okay, so multiple servers that are grouped together into a single fault tolerant cluster using the failover clustering services. Any service you can use it: domain controller, file server, print server, RDP server, Windows Update server. Any server you can group them in a cluster. Okay, not only one or two machines, you can add multiple machines you can add in a single cluster. And the last feature, which is new feature available in Windows 16, is IaaS 10. IaaS is nothing but Internet Information Services. Internet Information Services. It's nothing but web server, but it is web server. For example, you want to host a website. You want to host a website for your organization. Either you have to go with the Tomcat based application, or Apache based application, or JBoss, or Java, PHP, HTML. There are many, right? But those applications to host a website, there is a feature available in Windows, that is IaaS. IaaS. You can run this service, you can install this service, and you can host your own website. You just create a HTML file and put it in the server. That is available over network. In browser, just type your HTTP : your domain name or the website name. You'll be getting the website in the browser. So to host your website, need not to go for any third-party tools. The Windows native feature is available for IaaS, Internet Information Services. Why it is new? It's not new. It is available from Windows XP. Even in XP, IaaS services there. XP client operating system also has this feature. But why it is new? Here it is 10.0, which is added new features. What all those new features we'll be learning in a concept called Windows Web Service, IaaS service, that we have there. It is there in our course curriculum. I'll tell you at the time. Got the clarity? And install an operating system. To install an operating system, we should meet some hardware requirement. We should meet some hardware requirements, right? As I said, Windows XP, I was running on 64 MB of memory. The least configuration which XP supports is 64. In 32, I cannot install. And what is the maximum amount of memory I can use it for XP? Is only 8 GB. I cannot use it more than 8 GB. 16 GB, I'll not be able to use it in XP. So there is a limitation. In the same way, for every machine, the minimum configuration, for every operating system, the minimum hardware configuration we must meet. Then only we will be able to install the operating system. So here, these are the requirements for installing Windows Server 2016. Processor, you must have 1.4 GHz 64-bit processor. What is gigahertz? It's the frequency of your processor. Here it is not mentioned number of cores. So one core is enough. One core with 1.4 gigahertz of processing speed is enough to run Windows Server 2016 operating system. Right? And memory. I'll call it as memory when our RAM came. So memory requires at least 512 MB of memory. What is the minimum memory is required for XP? 64. For Windows 7, it is 512. 512 MB is required. Minimum 512 MB. You can run it. 256, you cannot install Windows 7. Windows 10 is also 512. You cannot install less than that. And it supports up to 32 GB of memory. 32, 64 GB also it supports Windows 10. The minimum hardware configuration required is 512 MB. And disk space. To hold the operating system in the hard drive, you must have at least 32 GB of free space in your hard drive. 32 GB. Exactly. Very good. Good question. So, have you played games? Gaming, 8-bit gaming, so 16-bit games on digital. Every software is nothing but it is a set of instructions. Any software underlying, there are some instructions. If you press a combination key, it should trigger a specific function. Okay, that specific function to be executed when you press this combination key. It is an instruction. Okay, every instruction will have their own size. Every instruction will have their own size. So in gaming, a small person is there and he is running and he has to jump. He'll be pressing a combination key. He will jump, right? Right? It's an instruction which you are giving to the system, right? So every instruction will have their own size. Operating system is also set of software, as I said, set of applications. Application is nothing but set of instructions. So every instruction will have their own size. The size of each instruction is two types in operating system. One is 32-bit, another one is 64-bit. XP was available in both 32, 64. Windows Vista is also available in both. Windows 7 is also available in both. But Windows 10 is available only on 64-bit. Okay, 32-bit of instruction can be executed in that particular process. So processor is compatible for 32 as well as 64 both. Okay, your 32-bit application also can be executed. 64-bit application also can be executed. So your operating system is 64-bit operating system. Means the instruction of each size, the each instruction size of this operating system is 64-bit. 64-bit. So that is the reason the requirement is 64-bit processor only can run this operating system. Got it? So that is called actual processor architecture and the operating system architecture. They'll call it as architecture. Even 128-bit is also there. That is Itanium-based software processors and Itanium-based operating systems, which are specially designed on a request basis for the organizations. Microsoft will design the operating system specially for the requirement of organizations ask. Okay, 128 we cannot run. We don't have the processors also. But we have 64. Means difference in speed. Command. That is the difference. So 64-bit processor is required and 512 MB memory is required. 32 GB of space available in your hard drive is required. And network gigabit Ethernet adapter. Gigabit in the sense gigante 1000. 1000 Mbps Ethernet is required. 1000 Mbps. It means 1 Gbps Ethernet port. Ethernet or LAN card, whatever you call it as. In technical terminology, it is called Ethernet. Gigabit Ethernet అంటారు. Gigabit Ethernet అంటే 1000. మీకు network basics లో చెప్తాను, but here I'm just giving the information. Ethernet is 10 Mbps. Fast Ethernet is 100 Mbps. Gigabit Ethernet is 1000 Mbps. 10 Giga Ethernet is 10,000 Mbps. So by the name only you can say it as what is the speed. Ethernet అంటే 10. Fast Ethernet అంటే 100. Gigabit Ethernet అంటే 1000. 10 giga అంటే 10,000. 10 Gbps of data transfer rate through the NIC card is possible. 10 max is 10. Our NIC cards are supports 10 GB new laptops. 10 giga. Right? So this this Gigabit Ethernet adapter also supports 1000 and backward compatibility. It is called as backward compatibility. You can use the NIC card even at 10 Mbps of data transfer. It supports. Gigabit supports Ethernet, fast Ethernet, Gigabit 3. Okay, and optical storage to run the operating system image. This is also optional. If you are installing operating system with an ISO or pen drive, you don't need the DVD drive. Okay, and video, which is very important. Super VGA, which supports 1024 into 768 resolution. Minimum is required. Of course, nowadays all these are available. We have FHD, full HD. Right? Full HD is 1920 resolution. But at least we should have 1024 into 768 resolution of NIC card. This is basic here. We are running out of the higher configuration. We are going to use the higher configuration, but we must know the basics. That is the reason I'm telling you. 1024 into 768 resolution, it should support the VGA support. Then only you can install the operating system. And input device, keyboard and mouse, that is mandatory. And internet broadband access, that is optional. Not to install for installation. It's not, we don't need internet. But for Windows update, we must have internet. For every operating system requires updates. This image, for example, the image which I'm using was released probably in the year of 2018, but now it is 2022, almost 4 years gone. Right? There are updates which are very important to be installed to protect your operating system from the malwares or from the security loopholes. Right? So those updates has to be installed before you start using the machine. అంతే కదా, మన మొబైల్ కొన్నాము తీసుకున్నాము, మొబైల్ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఏంటది ఫ్యాక్టరీ రీసెట్ చేస్తాం. ఫ్యాక్టరీ రీసెట్ చేసినప్పుడు కొన్నప్పుడు మొబైల్ ఏదైతే ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ వచ్చిందో అదే ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ వస్తుంది. బట్ నువ్వు కొన్ని 4 years అవుతుంది. 4 years నుంచి వచ్చిన అప్డేట్స్ అని ఏమైనట్టు, యూ హావ్ టు అప్డేట్ ద ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్, రైట్? దెన్ ఓన్లీ యువర్ మొబైల్ విల్ బి ప్రొటెక్టెడ్ ఇన్ టర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ సెక్యూరిటీ. The latest security patches will get installed, right? So that for that reason you should have internet. So any machine you are going to use, before you are going to use, you have to update the operating system. So these are the hardware requirements for installing Windows operating system. The next one is, which is very important, installation options and installation methods. Probably this is the last slide because we have to start installation procedure. So we'll discuss the other slides tomorrow. So this is installation options and installation methods. Installation options, in this sense, there are two types of installation options. One is core, another one is GUI. Core and GUI. The first one is core. Windows Server 2016 is core, and GUI with desktop experience, it is GUI. Core and again it is like nano server, but not the nano server. Core, you'll never get the desktop, you'll never get the icons. You have to use the operating system on command line. Okay, you have to use the operating system on command line. Everything is command based. IP change cheyalana command, file create cheyalana command, file open cheyalana command. Everything is command line, and you'll never get GUI. Those servers are required for some sort of applications where the GUI is not required, and it runs very faster than the regular operating system, because for graphics it uses some processes, compute power, other reasons will be utilized. But for core, it is completely command line, so it works faster than regular GUI based operating system. And next one is desktop experience. Desktop experience, it is with GUI. You'll be getting desktop icons, login features, everything. And second one, installation methods. Okay. First one is clean installation or fresh installation. Clean installation in the sense, I procured a server and I wanted to install the operating system on top of it. It's a new server and then nothing is there. So that is full clean installation. I can run the DVD or ISO image and I can install the operating system. And that is full clean. And second one is upgrade. For example, my server is an old server. Old server in the sense it's an existing server which I am using it for one specific function. File service, web service, whatever, right? Now the operating system is 2012 and I wanted to upgrade it to 2016. Then second method is upgrade. Upgrading the operating system using installation procedure only, but we are upgrading the operating system from 2012 to 2016. This is more difficult and we should have best planning out of it. Then only you can upgrade the operating system seamlessly. And then operating system upgradation is very complicated activity. Very complicated activity, just like heart transplantation. Seriously. Application running on a server 2012 operating system, and it is the application functionality is well and good. I don't have any issues. But the 2012 operating system end of life, every application operating system will have their own end of life. End of life అంటే అక్కడి నుంచి మైక్రోసాఫ్ట్ వాడు దానికి సపోర్ట్ ఇవ్వడు. ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ లైఫ్ నుంచి సపోర్ట్ ఇవ్వడు. ఎక్స్టెండెడ్ లైఫ్ అని ఇస్తాడు, బట్ కాస్ట్లీ. లేదంటే వాడు స్టాప్ చేస్తాడు. విండోస్ 7 end of life is done and he stopped providing the updates. So the machine which is running Windows 7 must upgrade to Windows 10 or 11. There is no other option. Okay. అట్లానే విండోస్ సర్వర్ 2012 ఉంది. సర్వర్ 2012 నుంచి సర్వర్ 2016 కి అప్గ్రేడ్ అవ్వాలి ఒక స్పెసిఫిక్ టైంలో. సో అప్గ్రేడ్ అవ్వాలి అంటే I have to install the operating system using upgrade method. Upgrade chesanu ante first whether the existing application will run properly or will function properly post upgradation or not, I have to validate. ఒక అప్లికేషన్ ఉంది, ఇప్పుడు మీకు ఎలా చెప్పొచ్చు, మొబైల్ అయితే మనం అప్గ్రేడ్ చేయం. మొబైల్ అప్గ్రేడ్ చేస్తాం. ఐఫోన్ ఉన్న వాళ్ళు అప్గ్రేడ్ చేసుకుంటారు కదా. ఎవరైనా ఐఫోన్ ఉందంటే ఐఫోన్ ఇప్పుడు ఎంత 10.8 ఉంది కదా, 10 కదా పోయేసింది. ఐఫోన్ 14 ఓకే, నాదైతే ఆండ్రాయిడ్, నాకు తెలియదు. So 14 operating system is there. Previously it was 12 or 13. You purchased a mobile with 13 and you have to upgrade it to 14. So you got an update and you installed it. Post installation, some of the application won't work properly because the application is designed for 12. Okay, while designing the application there is no 14. So 14 features, functionality, the underlying kernel details, everything is not aware by the application. So they designed it for 12, compatible for 12. And when they upgraded it to 14, the application is not function properly when it upgraded to 14. In the same way, operating system also same. When the operating system is upgraded to latest operating system, then the existing application which is installed there won't work properly. Not on all the cases, but if it is enterprise application, definitely we have to see that possibility whether it will support or not. పని చేయకపోతే పరిస్థితి అప్గ్రేడ్ చేసిన ఏమి చేయలేము. ఏం చేయగలం? ఇటు అప్లికేషన్ పని చేయదు, అటు ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ యూజ్ లేదు కదా. సో upgradation is a very complicated activity which has to be gone through certain sort of processes, testing, UAT. There are things that I'll tell you later. while we are discussing about upgrades. So we have to go through with all the process, then only we should upgrade the operating system. It's not just like easy, just like our clean installation. Clean installation అంటే ఏముందండి, delete కొట్టడం కొత్తది ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసుకోవడం అంతే. అదే upgrade అయితే we have to go through with certain sort of processes. Okay, so I'm going to tell you how to install the operating system today, so Windows Server operating system. Then we'll discuss about other areas like upgrades, activation. Only two are there. So upgrade and activation I'll tell you tomorrow, but today we'll learn how to install the operating system. Okay, so before starting installation, we can have some questions. So first we'll ask these guys. Yeah, so if you have any questions, you can ask me now. Anuradha, do you have any questions?
No, no, sir.
Yeah, if any questions you have, you can chat in chat box also. Yeah, Geeta, do you have any questions till now? Queries?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. So yeah, you are asking something. Firewall is a network feature. It's a network feature which manages incoming and outgoing traffic. Incoming and outgoing traffic will be managed by firewall. How? I'll give a layman example. Technical things we'll discuss again. We have firewall feature. What is the purpose of keeping a security guard at door, main entrance? He'll check the authorization and authentication, right? Many people come to home, but first he'll stop and he'll check their identity, then authorization, and then he'll ask inside whether he is allowed or blocked. So everything will be checked. Whoever coming to inside, he'll be checked. The security guard will check. In the same way, firewall is a device which connects with the internet as well as local network. Your on-premises network as well as public internet will be connected through the firewall. It will have two interfaces. The firewall will have two interfaces. Connects to internet as well as connects to network, local network. And these two won't be clubbed or merged through the firewall. Whenever any request coming to on-premises network through the internet, it will check the identity first. If the identity is good, the data is accurate, it is legitimate data, then it will be transferred to local on-premises network. Okay, at the same time, on-premises team want to access the internet, so the request will go through the firewall. Anything will go or come through the firewall, and that firewall will manage incoming and outgoing traffic. Okay, and firewall will have the public IP address. For example, if you host a website in on-premises, that on-premises website should be available to public network. That should be available through the firewall. Okay, firewall will have an IP address, public IP address. So public IP address can be accessed from anywhere. So request will come to public IP address. Firewall will transfer the request from public to private IP address. That is what NAT, network address translation. That feature will be there in firewall. Okay, it's just a normal information I have given, but with firewall we can do a lot of things, many things. Firewall, next generation firewalls have separate cores and separate carrier also in network environment. Security team will be having that network security team. Right? Any other questions? Yeah, Venkatesh, మీకు ఎక్కడి నుంచి వస్తారు మీరు? ఎక్కడ? అయ్యప్ప సొసైటీ. So let me start installing the operating system. Of course, most of you know how to install the operating system. It's not different than our regular Windows 10 operating system. I just wanted to show you. So I'm not installing this operating system physically. I'm using a tool called VMware Workstation. VMware Workstation, it's a desktop version of virtualization software. Okay, you can run virtual machines on top of a single hardware, but it's a desktop version. This is not ESXi, which you are going to learn. This is VMware Workstation, which is a lightweight application, can be run on a desktop. It's a desktop operating system, right? So I'm creating a virtual machine. So create a new virtual machine. This is not part of Windows. This is part of VMware virtualization. Once the virtual machine is ready, then I'll show you how to install the operating system. Next, I'll use this operating system later. Which operating system you want to install? Windows, Microsoft Windows. The operating system is Windows Server 2016, right? 64-bit operating system, not support. What is my operating system? Yeah, just fine. Okay, next, and which is virtual machine name is Windows Server 2016. I just wanted to keep this in one of the drives, D drive, VM, new VM, Windows Server 2016. Okay, next, what is the minimum size? 60 GB is 32 is enough, but I'm just taking 60 GB. Next, finish. So this is the virtual machine which I have created. The same machine, if you want to create, you have to procure. That will take 2 months of time to get. Simple. 2 GB memory and one processor తో ఒక ఫిజికల్ సర్వర్ ని మీరు తీసుకొని రావాలంటే ఫస్ట్ ప్రొక్యూర్మెంట్ కి ఫస్ట్ ప్లానింగ్, దెన్ ప్రొక్యూర్మెంట్, అప్రూవల్, ఫైనాన్స్ అప్రూవల్, పర్చేజ్, డెలివరీ, ఈ ప్రాసెస్ అంతా జరగడానికి 1 to 2 months పడుతుంది పెద్ద ఆర్గనైజేషన్ అయితే. చిన్న ఆర్గనైజేషన్ అయితే అట్లీస్ట్ 2-3 రోజులు టైం పడుతుంది. అవునా, మనకి జస్ట్ ఇన్ 2 minutes. దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ ద బ్యూటీ ఆఫ్ వర్చువలైజేషన్. Only the thing is you should have the underlying hardware. On top of that, you can play like anything. And 2 GB memory, okay. And we don't have any operating system disks as of now, so I'm using a ISO image. I'll use ISO image, which is Windows Server 2016. Windows Server 2016 image. Then okay. Then power on the virtual machine. Then let me don't want to waste the time here. I have another virtualization operating application, which is Hyper-V, native feature of Windows operating systems. Natively available. Need not install any third parties. VMware is a third party, but Windows, this Hyper-V is built in Windows operating systems. మీ ల్యాప్టాప్ డెస్క్టాప్స్ లో కూడా ఇది ఉంటుంది, Hyper-V. మీరు ఎప్పుడు చూడలేదు కదా? ఎప్పుడు చూడలేదు కదా మీరు మీ డెస్క్టాప్స్ లో? బై డిఫాల్ట్ ఉండదు, ఫీచర్ అనేది ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయాలి. I'll tell you how to install the feature. Let's open control panel. Okay. In control panel, just go to small icon, then you'll be finding programs and features. Programs and features. Right here, you'll be finding an option called Windows features on or off. Okay, just go here. You'll be getting some list. I said IIS is available even in XP, right? Windows 10, Windows 11 లో కూడా IIS ఉంది. అంటే ఇది ఈ కంప్యూటర్ సర్వర్ లా కూడా యాక్ట్ చేయగలదు. బట్ సర్వర్ కాదు, కొన్ని ఏమొచ్చు small configurations కోసం you can run your laptop as a server. Very small requirement. If you see this, you'll be having big list, and here you'll be finding Hyper-V. By default, it won't have this tick mark here, but you have to put a tick mark and OK, and it will get installed. Okay, these are the features. Some are other features: NFI, SMB, Telnet, TFTP, virtual machine platform, identity foundation. There are many, but we don't use all these. These are for different purposes. Windows is an ocean. నేర్చుకుంటే ఇంకా వస్తూనే ఉంటాయి features. Hyper-V we are learning. So select Hyper-V and click on OK. That will be installed within 5 minutes of time, and this is the console. Okay, just like VMware. It is just like VMware. Now, I just wanted to create a virtual machine. I'm creating it. Next, virtual machine, Windows Server 2016. I want to save this in one of the folders. So, okay. Then next, generation 1 and generation 2. This is generation 2 operating system, but even you can install it on generation 1 also. Generation 1 supports 32 as well as 64. Next, 1 GB is the memory, so let this 1 GB, okay, not an issue. Next, do you want to connect to a network? Yes, I wanted to connect. Or you can leave it as is because we don't need internet connection. Next, and what should be the hard disk size? Here it is 127, there it was 60 GB. Here is 127. No problem. 127 is also okay for me. Next, you want to install operating system now or later? I wanted to install it now, or I can finish now, and there I can edit it. The next, this is the summary which I have selected. Finish. The virtual machine is got created. Go to settings. Here in DVD drive, I'm just using my ISO image. Okay, 2016 data center. Now connect and power on. Start. See, the operating system is being installed. So inside your image or inside your disk, start the machine. It will go to this screen. From here you can start installing. Okay. Next, you want to repair your computer or you want to install the operating system? Install. You can install now. Now see, how many versions are there? Editions are there here? 2. Editions and installation types. One is core, another one is GUI. Right? Desktop experience is a GUI. Normal one is a core operating system. Okay, so I'm just installing the data center evaluation desktop edition, desktop enterprise edition. Essentials separate discussion. Next, this is very important. Sorry, this is the license agreement which we have to accept. There is no alternate. Once you accept, then only it will allow us to go next. Otherwise, it won't allow you to go for next. Next, now see installation methods. Fresh installation, upgrade. Right? I told you two methods are there: fresh installation as well as upgrade. So this is fresh installation. The custom one is a fresh installation. Upgrade is an upgrade. We are not upgrading it because there is no operating system here. So we are installing it. Go for which one? Custom. Now we have 127 GB of disk. We created 127 GB of disk, right? So it is available. So just click on new, and it will allow you to give the size. What should be the size you wanted to give for C drive? Okay. So C drive, how much space is required? 32 GB. Right. Here I am giving 50 GB, for example, for just for purpose. So 512 50 GB. Okay. 51200. See, 50 GB వచ్చిందా లేదు 49.5 వచ్చింది. 5 GB is system reserved. System reserved, just you note it down. System reserved partition. It's an interview based question also. మీరు ఫ్రెషర్ అయితే క్వశ్చన్ అడుగుతారు, సిస్టమ్ రిజర్వ్డ్ పార్టిషన్ దేనికి, రైట్? ఈ సిస్టమ్ రిజర్వ్డ్ పార్టిషన్ దేనికి అంటే బిట్ లాకర్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ స్టోర్ చేయడానికి. The system reserved partition will be used to store the BitLocker keys and the algorithm data. BitLocker information will be stored in system reserved partitions. Very important, you must be understanding what exactly this BitLocker. BitLocker is a feature where you can lock your drives. D drive, C drive also we can enable BitLocker for C drive. ఎందుకు BitLocker మనం ఎందుకు enable చేయాలి? It's not like locking, it is encrypting the data. It is encrypting the data. Data theft is a concept. Data theft is a concept. So in what all the ways data can be theft? Data theft అనేది ఒక దొంగతనం నాకు తెలిసిందే. డేటాని ఎన్ని రకాలుగా దొంగిలించవచ్చు. In how many ways the data can be theft? The first way is from the machine where somebody install malware and they'll get the data. Just a second. Sign in call లో మనం మళ్ళీ కాల్ చేస్తాను 5 minutes. అవునా, నేను మాట్లాడుతున్నాను for 10 minutes. నేను మాట్లాడతాను మీతో 10 minutes. Yeah. Data theft can be done in two ways. One is online, another one is offline. Online means where malware will be stored in your machine or sitting in your machine. Whenever a trigger happens, malware will copy the confidential information and it will send it to somebody. It could be a file, or it could be a credential, or it could be image, whatever it is. And the second way of data theft is offline. Offline in the sense, I lost my laptop. Okay, but they cannot log into my machine because my credentials are not there. But they can open my hard drive and they can connect it to some other machine and they can get the data. Yes or no? Right? So from those kind of attacks, how can you protect your machine? By encrypting it. By encrypting it. Encryption and data will be converted into unknown language or unknown format with the help of algorithm. Okay, that algorithm must be saved somewhere in your system. That is what your system reserved partition. BitLocker will enable encryption to your data. Even though you lost your laptop or somebody stolen your hard drive from your desktop, but still they will not be able to open the data. No passwords or no cracker tools are available in the market to crack the BitLocker data. Still, even you are the owner and you lost your key, you will not be able to open the data. That's for sure. I lost almost 200 GB of data. my personal data I lost because of my encryption. My brother enabled it and he formatted the C drive. I lost it. This the drive, the disk which I'm showing you now is system result. He was deleted it and he enabled the BitLocker. I lost the data. Nothing else. Not you can't do nothing. Can't do anything there. And you have to format the disk. No other alternative. Till now, BitLocker cannot be cracked. Even data recovery people cannot be cracked. They'll give only 50% of chances to get the data back. They'll use some anti decryption tools. Decryption tools they'll use and they'll try to decrypt the data, but they'll give only 50-50 of chances. Either it can succeed or not. But till now, with my knowledge, there is no data recovery tools can recover the data if you lost the data in BitLocker. If you enable the BitLocker, you have to disable with the help of your key. That's it. So that encryption information will be stored in your system volume, and you cannot open it. System will use that. Only the thing is you have to give your key or passphrase or password, whatever it is, to decrypt the data. So that BitLocker is more powerful than any other encryption tool which is natively available in Windows operating systems. So that information will be stored in system result. Why I taken this much of time to explain? Because it is one of the interview questions. If somebody asks, you must able to answer it. I'm making you to understand. I'm not trying to teach you. Okay. Next, partition 2. Partition 2 is got created. Is a primary partition with the help of 50 GB of storage. That's enough. And I can leave the unallocated space. I can create the volume even after installing the operating system. Then next. Now Windows is start copying the files. Copying files is done because it is an image. It will take, and that too we are installing it on a virtualized environment. In physical, at least it will take 2 minutes of time. And now it is getting files ready to install the operating system. Then it will install the features, updates, then it will finish. So as it is virtualized environment, it won't take 10 minutes of time to complete the installation. Got the clarity about installation? Let this complete and you have to see by your own eyes, then only you will be remembering how to install. Post installation activities are there that we'll be discussing tomorrow. Are you working somewhere? Okay. What is the time? Office time? 9:30. Okay. Ekkada? Appo ikkadi నుంచి అక్కడికి వెళ్ళాలి కదా ట్రాఫిక్. అవునా సరే ఒక పని చేయండి. యాక్చువల్గా ఈరోజు 7:30కి సెషన్ స్టార్ట్ చేస్తాను, అందుకోసం డిలే. పని చేస్తాను, లింక్ ని మీకు నేను ఫార్వర్డ్ చేస్తాను. ఇన్స్టలేషనే కాబట్టి యూ కెన్ సీ ఇట్ లేటర్, నాట్ అన్ ఇష్యూ. మీకు ఆఫీస్ లేట్ అవుతుంది. ఓకే దెన్, థ్యాంక్ యూ వెంకటేష్. మెమరీకి ఉండదు. యాక్చువల్గా ఇప్పుడు నవేడేస్ ఇన్ ఆర్ కోర్స్ కరిక్యులం హౌ ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ బూట్స్ అనేది లేదు. బట్ వీ మస్ట్ నో హౌ ద ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ బూట్స్. వాట్ ఈస్ బూటింగ్ ఫస్ట్? Somebody has booting. What is booting? Computer is also just like human body. Okay, the storage is nothing but our brain. Our brain has two type of functionalities. One is storing, another one is execution. Okay, so storing will be there somewhere in some other place, and whenever you are trying to remember that, the memory will come from storage memory to execution memory. Okay, here the storage memory is hard drive, execution memory is RAM. Okay, operating system only sticks on hard disk, that is storage. Hard disk లోనే ఉంటుంది. బట్ మనకి కనిపిస్తున్న స్క్రీన్ రన్ అయ్యేది ఎక్కడి నుంచి? RAM నుండి. అంటే ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ విల్ లోడ్ ఫ్రమ్ secondary storage to primary storage is nothing but booting. In general language, the secondary storage is nothing but hard disk. The primary storage is nothing but your memory. So booting operating system files from or loading operating system files from secondary storage to primary storage is nothing but boot. When you shut down the machine, you'll be getting a message saving your system settings. Where those are being saved? In your hard drive. Till now, those are not saved in hard disk. No, those are running on RAM. అందుకే మీరు పని చేసినప్పుడు పవర్ పోయింది అనుకోండి, పవర్ ఆన్ చేసిన తర్వాత డేటా కనిపించదు. ఎందుకని అది మెమరీ, ఆ డేటా ఉందంతా ఇక్కడ మెమరీలో. మెమరీ ఈజ్ అ నాన్ వాలటైల్ మెమరీ స్టోరేజ్. గజని పవర్ పోయి రాగానే పోద్ది, మళ్ళీ డేటా ఉండదు. పవర్ ఉన్నంత సేపు డేటా ఉంటుంది, పవర్ పోతే డేటా పోయినట్టే. ఓకే, హార్డ్ డిస్క్ is a normal man. He can store the data. And power పోయినా సరే డేటా స్టోర్ అయ్యేది హార్డ్ డిస్క్ లో, మెమరీలో ఉంది. Machine has got the OS installation is done. Again, it is asking for do you want to boot from DVD or CD? No. First time, if it is asked, you have to press any key because you wanted to boot from DVD or image, whatever it is. Now I have to boot from the disk because the operating system is already installed. So I just left the screen and it is skipped to operating system booting from the disk. It is faster because it is running on virtualization environment. If you install same on a desktop computer or a server, it will take at least 30 minutes of time to complete. Again, it is booted. Now I'll be getting operating system. Yes. You may be having some assumption the server operating system looks different. No, it is as like Windows operating system, Windows 10. So you must provide a password, which is very complex. I'm giving ICM@123. For server, you have to press Ctrl-Alt-Delete first. Then only the credentials will be. So ICM@123. It looks like Windows 10, right? Just like Windows 10. That's it. This is your start menu. Everything is same. Then what is the difference between server and client? This one. Everything you can manage from this dashboard, from this console. You can install roles and features. Until unless you install a role or feature, it will not act as a server. It is just a client operating system. Of course, it is a server. But unless you assigned a role to that particular machine, it won't act as a server. Everyone is employee here, but the designation matters, right? Right? Everyone is employee. CEO is also an employee and you are also an employee. But CEO is assigned with a role. That is the reason he is acting as a CEO and he is acting as a server. And we are clients as of now. If somebody install role in your machine, then it will act as a server. Just I'm giving an example, right? Every machine is a normal machine, Windows operating system. You can install server operating system in your laptop and you can install whatever you want. However you want to use, you can use it. Nothing. There will not be any difference. Okay, but if you install a role in the machine, it will act as a server. It will start acting as a server. If you install DHCP, it will as a, now it is 180 days evaluation edition it is. So 180 days, till 180 days it's not required. But after 180 days, we have to activate the license. We can install it you can install it in your laptop. Better not to install directly on laptop. Install Hyper-V or VMware in your machine. Then install the operating system. You can do the practice. Your practice must be done on VMware only, because physical machines cannot be provided. Practically, it is a bit difficult. So it's better to use on Hyper-V or VMware. Even our practice also will be done on the same. Right? So what is the difference? We have to install a role. If you install a role, this will act as a server. These many roles are there. See, Hyper-V is also there again. If you install Hyper-V, it will act as a Hyper-V server. If you install DHCP, it will act as a DHCP server. If we install ADD service, which is Active Directory Domain Services, it will act as a domain controller. IIS, web server. If you install this, and it will act as a web server where you can host a website. If you install file services, storage space services are installed, file services in file server. If we install this file server, this will become a file server. Again, remote access, remote desktop services, volume activation service, like activating service, license activation server. You can install this volume activation service, and that server will provide licenses to all the machines in your network. Windows licenses. Windows deployment, it will provide deployment services to the clients where you can install operating system over LAN, not with the DVD or image. Through the LAN, you can install operating system. Customizable operating system you can install. ఇప్పుడు 100 machines లో నేను OS ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయాలనుకోండి, కష్టమే కదా, రైట్? పోనీ 100 machines లో OS ఏదో పెట్టి ఇన్స్టాల్ చేస్తాం, 10 మందికి 10 machines ఇస్తాం, ఇన్స్టాల్ చేస్తాం ఒకటే హాఫ్ అన్ అవర్, అట్లీస్ట్ అవ్వలేదు 2 రోజుల్లో 100 machines ఇన్స్టాల్ అయిపోతే 10 మంది కూర్చుంటాయి. బట్ 100 machines లో కూడా నేను అట్లీస్ట్ ఒక 10 అప్లికేషన్స్ ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయాలి. ఏంటి పరిస్థితి? MS ఆఫీస్ అని, ప్లేయర్స్ అని, బ్రౌజర్స్ అని, ఇవన్నీ ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయాలి. ఎంత టైం పడుతుంది నాకు? Simple way. I'll install in one machine all the applications. I'll capture the image and put it in a server, and I'll deploy the image over the network, so that network users will get the operating system from the server, and once the installation is completed, they'll get all the applications installed. It's a customized image. That is what deployment services, Windows deployment services. That is also there in our course curriculum. You will be doing that. Got it? Like that. Anything you want to install any service, it will act as a, right? That is only the difference between a client operating system and server operating system. Other than that, there is no difference. The graphics, everything is same. Right? So do you have any questions on installation? We'll be learning how to activate and all tomorrow in the class. Okay. So guys in the online, any questions regarding the installation of Windows operating system? Can I take this silence as okay? Still you are silent. And then if you have any questions, if you are unable to ask, feel free to put it in the chat box so that I can answer. Right guys, that's it for this day. It is only online class. All the different, all the different. And they are unable to come here. That is the reason. We'll provide videos tonight. I recorded the session.